Hi Shati Lines, how are we doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm well. If you are new to this channel, my name is Phoebe and I want to make sure that life in Germany is easy for all foreigners, for people who are new in Germany, of course, also for people who want to come to Germany. I want to give you the real information. I want to give you the authentic information. I want to tell you what the law is saying. And I'm the best person to tell you because why? I'm a legal interpreter, and not just that, I also have a German law degree. So, ich kenne das Recht, ich kenne die Gesetze auslegen, and I won't lie to you, okay? If I don't know, I don't know, but if I know, I'll say it. Thank you for 8,000 subscribers. I really do not take you for granted. Thank you for your emails of encouragement. Thank you for the comments that you write underneath these videos that I make. Sometimes I see a lot of thank you. These make me happy as well to know that I'm making a difference. Thank you for the questions that you sent in. Thank you for just supporting me. And I pray that we all have the strength to continue this journey of the Phoebe way, and we have made great strides, and I just do not take it for granted, and I thank God, and I just want to say thank you as well. So you have not yet subscribed. What is the color of your problem? I hope you don't have one, because over here it's all positive vibes, and as I said, we want to make sure that the German bureaucratic forest becomes clear to each and every one of us. As tradition demands, every first Sunday of the month, every first Sunday of the month, we come to discuss the new laws in Germany. What is new in Germany? How does it affect me as a foreigner? What does this mean? Yes, and also I try to answer questions that I put in the comment section. If I have not already answered them in your under your comment, or in the email that you sent me, I'm probably going to answer it here as well. So if you have sent me a comment or a question I have not yet answered, please watch this video to the end. Today it's about one that somebody actually asked me, what is better? Is it better for me to do Ausbildung in Germany or to do a master's degree in Germany? And it's quite an interesting question because I see people being worked up about it, but I'll answer that at the end of the video. But first, let's do the new laws. It's September. The Bundestag, being the legislative body of the German government, was on a summer break and they are yet to reconvene. So most of the things we are going to talk about now is things that were already decided or were already done and they are just now becoming valid from this month. Or these are things that are in the pipeline. So even though the Bundestag was on break, the various ministries were also doing their homework, and they said, we will make sure that when we come back from September, these are the things that we want to introduce to the Bundestag, and these are the things that we are going to vote on. But first, let me talk to you, or let me tell you about the things that are already in action, okay? Number one, they are saying that the manufacturers of devices that gather data, right? These manufacturers have to make it more transparent for us, the users, that they are collecting our data, to understand which data has been collected and how is it being used. So there's supposed to be more data collection transparency. That is something that is new from the month of September of 2025. The next thing that is already also in action is that the wages for Azubis, for Auszubildende, has also been increased. So this is the changes that the Azubis are supposed to be seeing as well. So first of all, well, I've already said it, but I will use this opportunity to wish all first year Azubis, being the trainees, ein erfolgreiches Ausbildungsjahr. Ich wünsche euch alles erdenklich Gute. Ich wünsche euch ganz, ganz viel Erfolg, dass euch alles einfach zufliegt. Dass das erste Jahr für euch einfach ist und dass ihr Freude an eurem Programm habt, das an eurem Fach habt, an eurer Fachrichtung, dass ihr das nicht bereut und dass ihr einfach Freude daran findet. Ich wünsche es wirklich euch vom ganzen Herzen. Und that said, I've also put some tips on my Instagram, on the Phoebe Way on Instagram and also on TikTok, whichever medium you prefer or platform you prefer. I've put the tips there. Please go ahead and watch the tips, and I really hope that they help, because yes, I've also been to school before and these are the things that helped me, and I hope they can help you as well. Now, this is what is already been in action. Now let's talk about the plans that the various ministries have brought in. Let's talk about Unterhalt. Unterhalt is child support. Unterhalt is paid when one parent is away from the other parents and the child. So the caregiving parents and the child are living separately from the other parents. So the other parents, who is not the caregiving parents, has to pay the monetary support to the child and the caregiving parents, right? Actually, more to the child who is with the caregiving parents. So in some cases, this parent who's supposed to pay child support, Unterhalt, is not paying. So what does the government do? Through Jugendamt, the government will pay something called Unterhaltsvorschuss. This is advanced Unterhalt, advanced child support. Now, some parents have not been paying what they owe Jugendamt, and Jugendamt is saying, nah, you better have my money. The Jugendamt has to actually have the money taken directly from source. So either your employer has to pay the Jugendamt what you owe the child, or if you have a lot of debt, they actually go to your account and block your account till the amount is paid. And that's what we call the Kontopfändung. Now, Jugendamt is saying that, or the agency or the ministry is saying that we need to have more incentives for these parents, usually fathers, to pay the Unterhaltsvorschuss, the debt, or even pay Unterhalt itself. So we want to introduce new measures like driving ban, put a ban on them driving. So take the driver's license from them. This is like pinch them where it hurts. And this is one thing that they want to introduce into the Unterhalt situation. Another law that also concerns children, we heard one about the chips, potato chips not being, you can buy potato chips in some parts of Bavaria after 8 p.m. Yes, it is true. Someone was asking me, Phoebe, is this true? Yes, it's true. But we'll talk about it in another video where I introduced some of the weird laws in Germany. And one of those weird laws is not just the potato chips issue, but also the fact that children from the age of 14 years can consume alcohol if their parents are there or their legal guardians are in the same area or the same place, okay? And now the minister that is in charge of this is saying that the fact that the parent is there doesn't make alcohol less dangerous. So he wants to bring in the motion, or actually a change of that law, that children who are less than the age of 16, because from 16 you are allowed to buy alcohol, right? From being beer and I think some wines, depending on the percentage, and then from 18 you're allowed to buy the hard liquor and everything else. But 14 you can't buy, but you can drink when your parents are present in that room. And he's saying no, he wants to scrap that 14-year-old thing, scrap it. We don't want it anymore. So let me know what you think about the Unterhalt situation. Let me know what you think about the alcohol situation as well. I know a lot of parents watch, so let me know what you think. Comment down below. If you don't want to say anything, please continue with the thank yous. I appreciate those comments as well. And yes, share it to other parents, share it to other people as well. Let the Phoebe Way family grow, and I'm indebted to you eternally. Next is another one where they want to, so the ministry that is in charge of social welfare wants to have social welfare restructured. Mr. Merz, Friedrich Merz, has already said that Germany cannot afford social welfare the way it's being run now. The country don't broke, okay? Our money don't finish. Now waiting our cancer they talk with that. And so Ms. Bass, who is in control or who is in charge of that ministry, is saying that she wants to do two things. First of all, she wants to make sure that there is a uniform type of social welfare benefits, so that she doesn't want to have different types of social welfare benefits. No, we already saw a reform when it came to Bürgergeld, but she wants to make sure that the application should be more uniform. It should be one thing you're asking for and not different things. So things are supposed to be merged together and one. That's one thing. And two, she also wants to have the gap between the income from work and the income from social welfare. That gap should be widened, because there are people who are saying that going to work just gets me 300 to 400 euros more than me just staying home and living off social welfare. So why should I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and go and work with people I don't even like, to do a job I don't even like, you know? And when I could just stay home and I can get my rent paid and I can have food, and that's enough for me. I don't need to go out to work. So she's saying that no, what we have now has to change. There has to be more incentive for people to go to work. And also they want to be stricter with people who are getting these social benefits, that you have to actually show active proof that you're trying to go and work so that you get the money. If you're not showing active proof that you're trying to go and work when you can, you will not get it. So the rules are also going to be much stricter as well. So this is something that is also new. What do you think about it? I think for me, the only part where I agree is that I've actually heard someone say, warum soll ich schaffen gehen, wenn ich eh genug krieg, you know? Und dann komme ich mir auch blöd vor, weil manchmal muss ich auch um 3 aufstehen, wenn ich irgendwo anders hinfahren muss, wo es ganz weit weg ist. Well, jedem das seine, ja, aber ich verstehe the thinking process behind the reform and the restructuring, but this is what is going on as well, and we are actually expected to see more from that angle as well. Another discussion that has started in the summer break, actually a bit earlier, was also about Wehrpflicht, Wehrdienst. So the current Minister for Defense, Mr. Pistorius, is saying that he wants to make it more attractive for Germany to have more soldiers joining by making it more flexible. So currently, if you join the army, there's a certain number of years, and it's just not just 5 years or 6 years. No, it's the number of years that you have to serve in the army, and that makes it too rigid for people to say, I'm going to join the army and I'll be stuck with the army. So they're saying that no, they want the new soldiers who want to join. They don't want to make it like an obligation. Some years back, they changed it from being an obligation to you opting, like having the option to join the army or not. And if you join, you have to stay. But now the current Minister for Defense is saying that Germany needs to increase the number of soldiers that are ready to fight, and also soldiers that are going to be on reserve, so the reservists. They want to increase these numbers because currently the situation is not looking too good when it comes to the world politics. So they want to have more, and they also want to make it more flexible for people who want to join. And if you join and you say, okay, I want to become a soldier, like a full-fledged soldier, and I want to join the army as my job, as my occupation, it should be possible. If you want to leave as well, it should be possible. That now they want to just make it open for people to join regardless of your level of education. You know, of course, the age and everything has to match, but level of education doesn't matter anymore. They're making it easier for people to join now. So if you want to join the army, if you have the German citizenship, you want to join the army, this is your time. Go look into it. The offers are going to be attractive, and this law has not yet been decided. They want to start from January 2026. Let me add that. It's also one of the laws in the pipeline, but looking at the drafts that has been publicized, they're saying that from January 2026, they plan to have this bill passed into law, and for it to actually be enforced so they can move fast. I mean, we are in September, Bundestag is yet to come back into work, but this is how fast they want things to go. In September, and they want this to go already in force by January. Now let's come to some general information. Deutsche Bahn. I will not miss an opportunity to talk about Deutsche Bahn, because Deutsche Bahn is showing me pepe. And me too, when I switch this camera on, I'll also give them pepe. So what had happened was, I'm not gloating over his sack, no. I'm just telling you what happened. The CEO of Deutsche Bahn was sacked by the minister in charge, and he says that he is not happy with how things have been going. And what was expected from this CEO, he was not performing. They were probably expecting more change and to see bigger things happening and all that. But it didn't happen like that. So the Minister for Transport said no, he has to go, and that was why he was laid off. And the interesting part is they laid him, like the layoff or the sack came 2 years before his contract would end. So nobody expected that, but that's what happened. And now the question is, who is going to be the next CEO? Would he be able to fix the situation at hand? And still, there's a lot of construction going on. There's lots of renovations going on of the tracks, of the rails, and all of that. So if you actually have to ply these routes right here, please be mindful. And most of the renovations or the work going on within the cities, for example, my city, Stuttgart, most of them are supposed to be done by mid of September. So I hope that they can keep up, and the maintenance as well. I hope it's also the same in your city. What is going on with Deutsche Bahn currently? What do you think? What do you think is the current situation? So that is another thing. Next general information is that we already talked about Ausbildung. The start is September. If you missed September and you want to try the summer semester, yes, this is the time for you to actively start looking for your Ausbildungsplätze. And so you can start with the March-April batch. Oktoberfest is also starting in September, and also we have Oktoberfest in Munich, that is Wiesn, and we have it in Stuttgart, that is Vasen. So if you have not been to any Oktoberfest yet, try it. It's lots of beer and chicken, and of course lots of rides and action basically. So if you don't like beer and chicken, that's fine, but just go to the park and see what they have. It's just part of German culture. Not just that, we also change in seasons. So September, we're also going to have this change in season. We are going to officially enter autumn in September as well. So bye to summer, and meaning that we're going to be seeing Christmas very soon. So yes, I think we have come to the end of the legal updates at itself, like the new things to expect in Germany if you are new in Germany, if you're a foreigner in Germany. And yeah, also kids are going to start school this September. Some, not in all states, in some states they've already gone back to school, but I know in Stuttgart they're going to, or Baden-Württemberg, they're going to start in September, and I think in Bavaria as well. I'm going to put the dates of the schools that are yet to start also right here, so you can check them out. Yes, that is the end of the legal updates or things that you should be aware of. Now let's come to the Ausbildung versus Masterstudium, or even Studium überhaupt. So generally, should you study or should you do Ausbildung? Before I say Studium or Ausbildung, I want you to know two things. What type of learner are you? If you are more of a practical learner, there's people who would tell me, I think one person told me, I am the type that would say, Yena monshe, do it, let me see, and let me repeat it, and then you correct me, right? If you're that kind of person, then Ausbildung might be the best type for you. But there are also different types of Studium, okay? There is the Ausbildung, there is duales Studium, and there is normal Studium. And even the normal Studium, there's one that you can do at the Fachhochschule, and there's one that you can do at the university, okay? Good. a lot of our African parents think that Ausbildung is just a traineeship and then that's it, you are stuck. Or apprenticeship, that's it, you are stuck. No. The fact that somebody just did only Ausbildung does not mean that it means they are less intelligent or anything. Personally, if I had known that Ausbildung also had much more things that I could do, like for Weiterbildung, or that you can actually study after Ausbildung, I probably would have done that. Because I've seen some of my classmates that I finished Abitur with that did Ausbildung and then later switched. Like not switched, but after they finished the Ausbildung, they worked and then they said, okay, now I have enough Erfahrung, I know this, I have hands-on experience, and I know what actually interests me. Because not everybody knows what they want to do at the age of 8. Not everybody knows. They might know what they like, but they don't know what really tickles them or what field they want to stay in. So if you are that type of person too, then you can do the Ausbildung, the 2-3 years Ausbildung, and then when you finish, you know what you'd want to major in, and then you study that, right? That is perfectly fine. You can always do the Ausbildung at any point in your life. You don't have to give yourself an age limit. If you are 35, look into Ausbildung. If you are 40, as long as you have that cognitive capacity, please, by all means, do Ausbildung, okay? So that's one thing. Ausbildung is not a dead end. It is not, okay? Man kann darauf aufbauen. You can build upon Ausbildung. Studium, depending on which type you want to do, duales Studium is similar to Ausbildung because you're going to university for probably 3 months and then you're doing the 3 months practical time with your employer, right? So usually the duales Studium takes place at the duale Uni or the Fachhochschule. So it's usually a specific type of university that trains only duale students. At least this is the case in Stuttgart and I think Mannheim as well. So that is that. So for that duales Studium, before you finish your Abitur, you already start applying with the then reports, with your then grades that you have, right? Yeah, so you have to be proactive. If you want to do duales Studium, even before you finish Abitur, you have to be proactive. With Realschulabschluss, you can do Ausbildung, but also with Abitur, you can do Ausbildung, right? So Realschule and even Hauptschule, you can do that as well. That's why some parents are like, oh, it's only kids that finish Hauptschule and Realschule that do Ausbildung. No, it's not. That's not the case, okay? So that's it. Also, the perks of Ausbildung, obviously, and also duales Studium is that you get paid as you're studying or as you're learning, as you're training, you get paid. You get hands-on skills, you get experience and all of that. That all, grows into it. So you have to know what the kind of person you are, the kind of learning type you are, your financial situation. Do you want to be earning money on the side, or you want to be working on the side and you'll be doing Werkstudententätigkeiten, or you want to be doing your Praktikum and all that? But usually when you do the duales Studium or the Ausbildung, the company then, employs you when you're done. So it's all up to you. What is your German proficiency level? How well organized are you? Because if you want to do a Studium at the university, you have to be able to be a good self-manager. Like, you have to be self-sufficient when it comes to discipline, motivation. Of course, with duales Studium as well, duales Studium is even higher. But duales Studium, you're reporting to someone. You're reporting to your employer, right? But for uni, like the regular uni, where you don't have any employer that is looking at your grades for you to report to them, you have to also perform all the time at work and everything to convince them that you are worth the money they are investing in you. With uni, you have to be your own motivator. You have to know what you want to do, the grades that you want to achieve, and where you're going. I think that's the difference. So Ausbildung depends on the type of person you are, your financial situation. Do you even qualify for Ausbildung because they need the higher proficiency? But if you are studying a course in English and you still want to switch, please get your proficiency, German proficiency on lock. Like, get it done and then you switch. So I hope I could shed some light on this question, because there was going on in the comment sections, and no, Ausbildung is not a dead end. And I know people, even in my family, who did Ausbildung in engineering. I think it was mechanical engineering, and they're studying it now. So yeah, of course, if you have time, if you're young, you can always do Ausbildung and then you study later. If you're somebody who is ambitious, no path is going to be a hurdle for you, okay? Or an obstacle or a challenge. So that's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, and let me know what you think about the topics we have discussed today. And yeah, I hope to see you the next time we sit down to talk. We'll be talking about the word lost in Germany, what you should know. And I appreciate you so much. Take care of yourselves and bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.